All right, welcome in. It's time for Total Bases. We were just getting all fired up back here a couple minutes before the show. It's like I imagine that whatever that was for the last 2 minutes is like maybe before a band goes on stage, or like maybe like a comedy act. They're in like the green room getting fired up. 11 games today. They gave us a Thursday. Shout out to Major League Baseball for not like throwing us like 3-day games and then one at night. They actually gave us a real slate today. So we've got something to talk about. Tokyo Brandon, I'm starting with you. Let's head back out to Dodger Stadium yesterday. And now I just have to make sure I did sort of stop paying attention to this game. So I want to make sure that I had, it was 4-0. I think I stopped watching in like the 6th or the 7th. I assumed it ended up something like that. You gave out Shohei Ohtani to get a win. That came through. His ERA is now 0.82. Tremendous season he's having as a pitcher so far, but we can all agree he hasn't hit the ball the same way this year, and that maybe hurts the Dodgers on days he doesn't pitch. So today is a day he doesn't pitch. Dodgers-Giants. Giants took the first 2. This is the finale of a 4-game set. How are you going to attack Giants-Dodgers MLB Network tonight, Tokyo Brand?
So I went 0 for 3 on my free plays. Sorry, guys, but I went 5-0 on my client plays, and I won my 5%, which was the Miami Marlins. So it was a really good day for people who pay me for my work, and it was not a good day for people who just take free stuff. So let's get on to this play. Yes, Ohtani was amazing again, and he led to a Dodger win. But still, their bats are really lacking, even after yesterday. Pages and Muncy are pretty much the heart and soul of their lineup right now, but we thought nobody would think we're saying that 2 months into the season. At the beginning of the season, it should be Ohtani, Freeman, and Betts are the soul of the lineup, but they're not. Just wait until those guys start clicking and everyone picks it up. This team could be a juggernaut, but right now I've got them ranked. I got them ranked 23rd in current form. Or I got the Giants ranked 8. But the Giants have benefited from playing the Dodgers for 2 games and scoring 8+ runs on them for 2 games. And then they got shut out yesterday. So I don't know. I like Sheehan's numbers against these Giants. And I do like Landon Raup's numbers. If you take a look at my Twitter X, I've put up pitcher matchup rankings, and Raup ranks pretty high against these Dodgers. So it looks like another under to me, similar to yesterday's game, but I'm not confident to pick a side here because both teams are just Jekyll and Hyde lately. But it looks like an under to me.
Brian, you've liked Landon Raup this year. Raup, I don't exactly know how to say his name.
Raup, I guess.
He's been interesting because when he is on, he's very, very good. But he has been a little bit inconsistent at times. So do you get the good Landon Raup tonight? And if so, do you like this price with the Giants?
Yeah, when you take a look at this game, we got Raup against Sheehan. Sheehan's about a 180 favorite, something in that range. You can get as low as 163 at some places, but 175, I'd say. And your total is 8. Landon Raup has not pitched as well as of late as he did earlier. Maybe there's some regression involved. They've got him at on the season over at Roster Resource. Somebody asked where I get these numbers are. It's on the Fangraphs website, Roster Resource. The guy does a terrific job. I followed him for over a decade. He does a tremendous job. I can't think of his name at the moment, but it's something I always look at. But anyway, Landon Raup on the season is ranked as the 19th best pitcher in baseball, but the last 2 weeks is 111. So he's regressing a little bit. 19 is a little bit too much for him. He's a good pitcher, but he's not to that level. The bullpens look like they're in pretty good shape. The one thing I want to point out is San Francisco is not hit at all season long. They're down there with the Mets offensively. But if you take a look at what they've done the last 7 days, they're starting to break out of their slumps. They've got 4 guys on the top 100 right now. They got Luis Arias. They've got Rafael Devers, who has been terrible all season long. There's been talk about trying to unload him and trade him somewhere else. I don't know who would take that contract, but he's 28th. Elliot Ramos is 9th, and Willie Adames, who has not had a very good season so far, but he's proven to be a major league hitter. He's 35th. So the Giants are starting to hit a little bit. And San Francisco is not a good place for hitting, but when you can catch them on the road, you might be able to get some sneaky team total overs in that situation. But the Dodgers are a team that has been slumping a little bit offensively. And even yesterday in the win, they only scored 4. And by the way, we mentioned it yesterday. Ohtani was pitching, so he wasn't going to hit. The manager, the favorite manager of Tokyo Brandon, Dave Roberts, has decided that he is not going to be hitting today either. So keep in mind, if you're betting the Dodgers, you're not going to get Ohtani. Now, Ohtani has not had his normal season, but he's still the 52nd best hitter in baseball, even at the bad season he has had. So with him not in the lineup, he may come in as a pitch hitter, but I would expect them, unless they really have to use him, that they're just going to give him the full day of rest. So that definitely hurts this Dodgers offense. Another thing I want to point out overall on today's card, all these teams are in getaway days. Not only are they in getaway days, but the next series is supposed to be the rivalry games, unless you're Arizona and Colorado. For some reason, they have to play these rivalry games, but you'll see a lot of these teams playing your teams in your own state. The Yankees and the Mets, the Guardians, Indians, whatever, with the Reds. So you'll see a lot of that. And a lot of these teams, that's important for them. Your Baltimore-Washington, I know, is important because Washington has always felt like the little brother there. So keep that in mind. And so you might see some players swinging a little bit early to get out of town because it is the getaway day. And if you take a look at the totals on today's card, the biggest total is 9.5 in Sacramento between St. Louis and the Athletics. Everything else is lower. A lot of 7.5s out there. So keep that in mind on today's card. You, if you're going to play based on starting pitchers, you may be better off playing the first 5 as opposed to the whole game.
I don't have a ton to add here. I think you guys kind of hit all of the main talking points. The only thing I'll say is I do think the books priced in Ohtani being out, like that's known. And when I woke up and was like, all right, I would love to make a case to grab that 1.5 with the Giants, knowing they're on the road, knowing that I still rate Landon Raup higher than Sheehan. It was already sort of out of my price range at like minus 140. So I think the books did a pretty good job of pricing this game. I would have loved to grab the 1.5 with the Giants, but at that price, I'm not going to do it. And I don't think you're really getting enough to take the Giants here. I would have, if the Dodgers got north of $2, I think you'd get in a spot where you could maybe punch back with the Giants at a good price. And then that plus 1.5 would be playable. That can happen. We know sometimes the Dodgers just get bet like crazy, but I'd be shocked if it happens on a day where Ohtani is not in the lineup. Final thing I'll say about this game, both these starting pitchers get a ton of swing and miss. Maybe just take some strikeout props here. Like Roop's, both of these pitchers get a lot of swing and miss. So this might be your game where you just take strikeout over, and one of them's probably getting there. You look at the red on that Savant page and the chase rate, whiff rate, strikeouts for both these guys, it's up there. So someone's getting their Ks today. Maybe both of them do. Okay, everyone wants to talk about the Nationals because this is one thing. We nail this one every day. I mean, yesterday, Brian, I'll go right back to you here. Team total over, easy. Tokyo Brandon, day before, over, easy. I think I gave out the team total.
And
Nationals yesterday. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Every day. Nationals as a dog. They win in extras yesterday. So tougher matchup for them today from a pitching standpoint, in my opinion. We'll start with you, Brian. Nats, Reds. Is it just more of trying to target the Nats, or would you go the other way here?
Actually, we've got I'm not going to call him Forrest Griffin, Foster Griffin, the lefty, going against Chase Burns, who has been awesome so far this year. We're looking at Cincinnati in the 150 range, 155 range, with a total of 8.5 to the under minus 20, or 8 slightly to the over minus 115. So 8.25 basically. But Washington's offense continues to do damage. We had them yesterday. That was one of the easiest wins we've had all season long. They've got 5 guys right now hitting in the top 100 in baseball. Luis Garcia is starting to come out of his slump. He's number 5 in baseball right now. Dalen Lyle, number 2 for the last 7 days. And even Hebert Ruiz is hitting in the top 20 in baseball for the last week. So they've got some guys swinging some pretty good bats. But I actually like both of these starting pitchers. I've talked about Foster Griffin in the past. He's ranked 31st in baseball from a pitching standpoint, but 16th the last 2 weeks. So he's really been very good. He's not a guy who's going to blow you away. You guys could talk about him. You've seen him pitch in the past, but he is very confident right now. And these Cincinnati bats, and I've talked about this, Cincinnati earlier in the season were the most lucky team in the league. Now that's coming back to get them. The only problem is I really like the starting pitcher here for Cincinnati. You take a look at what they have done as of late from a hitting standpoint. Yeah, they've got 4 guys that are hitting in the top 100 right now, numbers 2, 3, 4, and 5 in the lineup. So both teams have some hitters that have been pretty good right now. Chase Burns ranked 20th on the season in pitching, 22nd the last 14 days. Andrew Abbott actually has woken up as of late. He had that regression we were waiting on the last, 5 years. He's had it early on this year, but he's starting to turn it around. So I like some of the hot hitters on this team, but I think pitching is going to dominate here. As I mentioned, Washington will be going to play the Baltimore Orioles, and Cincinnati is going to be playing Cleveland Guardians. Those are 2 really important series coming up. I kind of like the under here. If you can still grab that 8.5 and lay 120, 124, I think there's out there. I like that more than anything right now because Burns is a guy, he's going to get a lot of strikeouts. Griffin's not as big of a strikeout guy, but he keeps you off balance. And this Cincinnati team does not, they strike out a lot. There's not a lot of situations here where I want to back their offense. So yeah, I like the under in this game. If you can get the 8.5, if it's only 8, it's probably not quite good enough for a play. It's right on the border, but at 8.5, I think is a nice bet.
TB, Dalen Lyle hit the Reds with the old like Undertaker throat slash after he hit a 2-run homer in the top of the 10th. Ballsy when you know a team's going to start with a guy on second base. But that was something that I think the Reds might remember going into today's game. Certainly got to think the Reds are motivated. Burns is definitely him, but the Reds, I'd be a little concerned that they put up enough runs here as well. So are we going to agree on this one? I kind of lean the under as well. How are you seeing this one?
Yeah, Burns has been great. He hasn't allowed more than 2 earned runs in 6 straight starts. Actually, Griffin's been pretty darn good as well. If you take both of these starting pitchers, they have allowed 4 earned runs in their last 6 starts combined. Both of these guys are pitching lights out right now. And that leads me to think that the Nationals are being a little slighted here with this number. They've got the slightly better bullpen, but they got the much better lineup here. I'm very tempted to take the Nationals plus 136 here. The first 5 innings probably going to be a 1-0, 2-1 kind of game. I can't see it more than 3 runs in the first 5 innings here. And that just opens it up for the poor pitchers to come out later, and the better lineup should be able to tee off on the opposition here. I like Washington. I might make this the parlay leg. People complain I'm taking minus 180 all the time. I'm going to take plus 136 for the parlay leg today, boys. Give me the Washington Nationals for my parlay leg here.
I will point out that if you're looking at the first half, because you did mention that, and I did mention if a team wants to get out early, the first half line is minus 170, but you can get plus 135 back. But the total is 4. There is some 4.5s there in places far away, as they say. But most legalized places in the United States are at 4. That 4.5 is pretty tempting also, because as you mentioned, 2 hot pitchers. I'm kind of liking that one also.
Yeah. 1 hot lineup and 1 cold lineup. So,
TB, I agree. Like, listen, the Reds being $1.50, $1.55 favorite is insane. That's crazy. Like,
it is.
They have not. I make this number now. I didn't really want to I don't love the spot for the Nationals, but I wish Lyle didn't taunt their dugout on that home run, and have them come in all fired up for a 12:40 start. But why are the Reds being minus 150, minus 155? I make them closer to minus 115 that's what I think the number. That's what I think. I make the number. Now I would not expect with Chase Burns on the mound. I want to clarify something. I never expected it to be minus 110 or minus 115, but I'm saying that's what I make the number. So in most cases, I see 40 cents of difference. I'm definitely looking at a way to play the underdog. I don't love the spot, but I'm not going to disagree with you on the fact that Nationals plus 135 here, 130, 135. That's a really good price. If you like the spot for the Nats and you believe that they're just going to be able to keep this going, no question. You're taking a terrible number if you're backing Reds minus 155. I'll just leave it at that.
And tell me this: why are the Reds favored?
Because
Chase Burns,
I think
playing at home.
Yeah.
Is Griffin much worse than Chase Burns?
In people's minds, there are. If you at the beginning of the season, obviously nobody was paying any attention to Griffin, and a lot of people get their preconceived ideas. Chase Burns is number one. The public loves strikeout pitchers. I've said this many times. You're always going to overpay when you're getting a strikeout pitcher, and that's what is happening in this game. So it's the line is a little bit inflated, but I will say there's no way that Chase Burns is going to try to hit Lyle because they cannot afford to have their best pitcher leave the game and with that bullpen, because I especially don't want that if you like the under, because you don't want that Cincinnati bullpen been in there for a long time.
Brian, this is 2026. These kids don't throw at each other. They don't do anything like that. It's everyone's so soft these days. That doesn't happen anymore. I'm saying that
no Nolan Ryan's around.
They might show up for a noon start. Hey, we got to get this one. I was more or less saying he may have gave the Reds some bulletin board material. It's nothing more than that.
But they can't hit. They can read the bulletin board all they want. They can't hit.
That's fair enough. All right, let's go to this one. I'll kick this one off because I have an opinion here. So a couple guys that are getting the call. They're not new. They've just been down in the minors. Should be names you recognize if you follow Major League Baseball. But if you're where are these guys been? They've both been in the minor leagues. We got Marlins Twins. Shout out to TB at a 5% winner on the Marlins yesterday, as easy as it gets. I had a 4% on the Marlins, and I even put in my write-up. If I didn't go 0-2 on Tuesday, Marlins would have been a 5 for me as well. I had some volume. I decided to keep it as a 4, but I mean, that was from a confidence standpoint. It was way up there for me. Simeon Woods Richardson still throwing batting practice in the big leagues. Incredible stuff.
He could be the worst pitcher in MLB.
I said that. I wrote that, TV. I said, matter of factly, in my write-up, I said, this is the worst starting pitcher in Major League Baseball. Those exact words. You can go look it up. Yeah, that is fact right now. I'm pretty sure after yesterday. So VP Bride wants to know, he says, my bro Braxton Garrett got called back up to the Marlins today against the Twins. They used his option up at Jacksonville, so he has to stay up from here on out. Well, he's going to stay up because he's been tremendous at AAA this year. This isn't a thing where he's going back down. Robbie Snelling, sadly, is going to hit the IL. So Braxton Garrett is going to be here to stay. He's having a phenomenal season for Jacksonville at the AAA level. And he's up against another guy that you're going to recognize, and Zebby Matthews. The only difference, and I'll start with you, Brian, and this is kind of where I'm going to go with this game. The only difference is Zebby Matthews is not having a great season at AAA. He's actually looked very lost at AAA this season. His stuff has not been good. He's gotten blown up a couple times. Guys are hitting close to 300 against him. I didn't think he was going to get called back up anytime soon because I thought he was really down there to figure out how to pitch again. And then all of a sudden, here's Zebby Matthews. So the way I think the market's just looking at this is two guys getting called up. Twins are going to go with Zebby. Marlins are going to go with Braxton Garrett, and they're kind of looking at him as the equals. These guys are not equals right now, and these teams are not equals. So my parlay leg is going to be the Marlins. I'm going plus money. Maybe we'll all go plus money today. but I really like the Marlins here. Bryan Leonard, your chance to talk me off of the fish.
I don't blame you. I will say, when you're a somewhat established major league pitcher and they send you down to the minors, a lot of times you will see guys going through the motions. They're frustrated. They're upset with themselves. They're mad at the world because they were sent down to the minors. He expected to be in the starting rotation all season long for the Twins. They don't have the greatest pitching on that team, but they did have a great game. Was it yesterday, the day before? Out of somebody who nobody expected anything out of. But so we will see when it gets back up here. Just because he didn't pitch well in the minors does not mean he will pitch bad in the majors. That said, Braxton Garrett would have been brought up ahead of Snelling the other day, but it just so happened that the break in the injured pitcher happened on the normal day that Snelling was pitching. So they brought him up. They could have easily brought up Braxton Garrett. Braxton Garrett is a guy I've always liked, and I've always found value on him. Max Meyer yesterday pitched another one. This is turning into a really good starting rotation for Miami. And the worst guy they've had in the starting rotation, this guy is Yuri Perez. And I thought coming into the season, he may be their best guy. He hasn't put it all together yet. But I love this Miami pitching staff from a hitting standpoint. The top three guys in the Miami lineup are all hitting like over 320. Now, granted, batting average doesn't mean as much as on base percentage or anything, but still, they've got guys consistently up. You take a look at Edwards, he's number 23 on the season. Hicks, number 34. Lopez, number 43. That's on the entire season. And Stowers was hurt earlier. It's taking him some time coming back, but he's starting to turn it around. This Miami team is a team we can make some money on. I agree. This is the way I would go in this game. I would like Miami. And Minnesota is a team that I just don't think much of. I also like Miami in this game.
Yeah, I could see I don't know. Zebby was an 8th rounder, went to Western Carolina. Like guys like that, I feel like typically don't just like take their spot for granted. Like I think he's been sort of down there, just like really just kind of going through it. He did go 8 innings in his last start at AAA, but it was one of those things like he gave up 10 hits. St. Paul was like full on out of pitching. Like they had no pitching left. So they kind of let him like just stay out there until he hit like his pitch maximum. Only gave up 3 runs over 8 innings, but like probably his best outing at the minors so far this year, TV. I guess my point is I've watched a lot of his stuff at the minors, haven't been impressed, whereas Braxton Garrett has looked fantastic. So 2 teams, I still rank the Marlins better. Why would we not just run it back with the Marlins here, Tokyo Brandon?
Quick promo, guys. Double play. You can get 2 of us 3 days. Huge discount. And if you only like one of us, you can get 3 days for 30% off any capper at WagerTalk.com. Show us some love for all the free information we're giving you. I don't have a lot to add to this, so I'll make it very short and quick, but I'm going to bring back a quote I said last season. Who names their kid Zebulon? I think his parents need a head check. But if you like the starting pitcher, I would go with that team because I have Minnesota's bullpen ranked dead last, and I have Miami's bullpen ranked 8 in current form. So that would be enough for me to agree with you guys, but way too many X factors for me, so I'm going to stay off it.
No, Clyde, I literally wrote that in the analysis. Like you can go back to any of our pages while you're there buying our picks and look and click on the link to read the analysis from the day before. I literally wrote that in there. Had I not had a 0-2 on Tuesday, this would have been a 5%. But I was also trying to hype up TB for making Marlins his 5% because there's literally nothing better than when you throw a 5%er out there and it's just a sweat-free win. And there was like never any point in time where that was not like just a cruise control sweat-free win for the Marlins yesterday. So shout out to TB. That is what we love on a big 5% play when they win like that. Go ahead, TB.
15 seconds. this is a testament to WagerTalk's transparency. I just got suspended for 13 days for misstating my record, but all of our plays, guys, you can go to wagertalk.com, click experts, and Brian's there, Adam's there, I'm there. You can see our last, I think, 50 plays or 20 plays, and you can see our analysis for all 20 plays. WagerTalk is the most transparent company in this space. So you can be a hater all you want, but everything's there in black and white. So try to deny it, you can't.
TV calling out the haters. That's how you know it's like a Thursday and we're like 4 or 5 games into the week.
You can't deny it.
Week. Yeah.
It's like flat earthers, man. Come on.
Yeah. Oh boy. All right. Let's keep it going. Headed back to the chat here. Let's find well, actually, I know it's a little early, but I mean, we're going to do the full 45 minutes, but Brian, are you ready to close out the 3-teamer yet? Or do you want me to go to a different game?
No, I think I can do it.
All right, let's go to your game.
I'm looking at the Colorado-Pittsburgh game. Dollander on the mound for Colorado. And if you followed him lately, he has been on fire, starting to live up to his rank coming into his career. He's the best pitcher on this Colorado staff. Pittsburgh's going to start with an opener, Montgomery, a lefty. Colorado doesn't hit lefties that well. It's only 1 inning. He's going to be in for 1 inning. But then we talked about this yesterday. I am assuming that Pittsburgh is going to back him up with, let me get the correct pronunciation, Budzinski, who it's his turn to start, and they're not listing him as a starter, obviously. So he's going to come in the 2nd inning, and he's been very good as well. He seems to be doing better when he comes in as the second guy. So that's working out very well. And Colorado's offense on the road, I never like. They don't seem to hit very well on the road. Pittsburgh right now has hit pretty well lately. But if you're looking at the first half of this game, you can either get under 4 at plus 100 or even at plus 110 in some places, or you can get under the 4.5 and lay minus 140, 145. So either way you want to go, I will go, since we're on this situation here where you guys picked out a couple of them in which we're getting plus money back. I'll be the guy to eat a little bit of chalk here. I will take the first half Colorado-Pittsburgh under 4.5 at the worst number out there at minus 145. And they're going to have to score 5 runs in the first 5 innings with these 3 pitchers on the mound to beat us. I don't see it. Like I said before, it's getaway day. It's a very early game. It's at 9:35 Pacific, 12:35 Eastern. So I prefer the pitching in this game. So let me go with Colorado-Pittsburgh. First half of the game, under 4.5, minus 145.
Can't argue with that. I really like Dollander. He's sort of the one guy. Like, if you look at the Rockies rotation, it's like old journeyman guys that just kind of throw the ball over the plate and throw strikes and just hope they don't give up a ton of hard contact and that the ball doesn't get hit out of the ballpark. And then Chase Dollander comes in and throws 99. Like, that's like, you're facing the Rockies. You got like Quintana, Lorenzen, like Sugano, and then you catch Dollander, who comes in with a 99-mile-an-hour heater. So I think that sort of plays a little bit for him, TB, because you all these Rockies, like, yeah, they have a couple of relievers that throw hard, but most of the starters are just like these journeymen, like strike throwers, a lot of off speed. And then the next day you get hit with 99 right in the mouth from Dollander. I think it's helped them out a little bit.
Yeah, the Rockies, they're another team similar to the Nationals where they're always underdogs, but they score like crazy. So you can make a lot of money betting Rockies team totals. And what were we saying at the beginning of the season? The Rockies plus 1.5 was an ATM at the beginning of the season. I'm not sure. It probably still is, because they're not the horrible road team that they were. Let me take a look at their road record. They're still 9-15 away, though. So it's not a good record, but it seems like they're winning more than that, doesn't it? I mean, to me, it does. But if you have a team total, you don't care if they win or not. You probably are cashing your team total in the 3rd inning and then watch them get blown away 13-9. So, I don't have a lot to say about this. Too many too many X factors here for me. I'm not going to be betting it, but I think the Rockies right now, bullpen and starting pitcher, a slight advantage for them. So I can't argue with that. I don't like that. I'm not a fan of this opener stuff. No one has ever won the World Series pulling this, ticky tack little jerky stuff. I don't like it. I don't like it. Yeah, I don't like it. It tells me that they're not confident in their starter. I don't like it.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, the Dodgers used an opener a whole bunch of times during the season. Oh, the last couple of years.
Their whole pitching staff was decimated.
Well, yeah, but it's not a postseason strategy type thing, really. It's more of like, hey, like that's more of like a 162 game thing, in my opinion, where you're, and I think you're just going to see more and more of it because, of course, baseball's getting overrun by these like quants, numbers guys, and it's all about like, they're just getting. A lot of times the coach is probably just getting like a message from like their what do you call it? Like their analytics staff. And they're like, hey, like today we think you should use, like Eric Lauer kind of, I think, got himself like DFA'd over this because he was like, I don't like coming in after an opener. And they're just like, too bad you work here. Like, what do you want to do? Yeah. So
I guess I don't like it because I'm a professional handicapper and it makes the cap more complicated.
It does make it more complicated, and you hate to list the pitchers, and then all of a sudden, the last minute they throw it in. I fully understand that.
Yeah.
But from their standpoint, they're trying to switch around lefty-righty is what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
And,
it's
worked out in the past. That's why they continue to do it.
I'm just frustrated. I get it.
I understand.
Final thing I want to point out about this one, like even though the Pirates, who I've really liked this year, and they are better offensively, no question. They were toward the bottom of the league last year in hitting. They're obviously a lot better offensively. They're still a team that I think might get shoved on by like dominant starting pitching. And it's like I don't know that the Pirates can handle 99 all day. And that's what Dollinger's just going to come out and start pumping in 99 probably on half of his pitches. I could kind of see him like just dominating this lineup a little bit. So Brian, I'm with you. I don't mind the under. And I don't mind the Rockies at plus money here. I wish that plus 1.5 was a little bit more playable, but Tokyo Brandon, they are figuring it out a little bit. The books a month ago, that this would have been like a minus 105, minus 110 on that plus 1.5. Now you're looking at like minus 145. So the books are, they always do, catching up. They always do.
They haven't caught up to the Nationals yet, though. Yesterday's 3.5 team total was ridiculous. Cashed in the second inning.
You're not wrong about that. I actually would have expected a little bit more of an adjustment to the Nats sooner, but yeah, they haven't. All right, TB, I'm going to go to you here. Because we gave so our parlay is locked in. We'll rehash it at the end of the show. We still have a couple more games to talk about. And the parlay is, hope you're watching live today because all the parlay games are early, but a lot of the games today are early. So let's give someone else, let's give the chat another night game to talk about. And this is another big game. Could have been the feature. So Cubs Braves to you, Tokyo Brandon. Chris Sale. Cubs have been struggling. How are you seeing this one?
So Sale is just a great pitcher. And he's one of those pitchers where whenever he's starting, they're going to skew the lines hugely in his favor. And, rightfully so. He's just a great pitcher, period. We got two really good lineups, but the Cubs are underperforming. So I understand why the line is what it is. Atlanta minus 163, 170, something like that. I understand that. But Ben Brown has really good numbers, and he's got good numbers against these batters as well in his career. So whenever I do my cap, I go through all the games and I just put my first thoughts down on paper, and then I check the numbers to validate whether my thoughts were correct or not, is just a little exercise that I do. And the first thought I wrote down when I looked at this game was Cubs plus 1.5. I just wrote it down without checking numbers or anything. And then I went through and checked the numbers. I was like, dang, Ben Brown's got good numbers against these guys. Cubs 1.5 looks really mighty attractive to me. Haven't played it as a client play, but if I were to play it, that's probably how I would go. Because this looks to me like a very low scoring game, although the Cubs bullpen worries me a little bit. And both lineups are power packed lineups, but to me, this looks like a very tight game. So that's how I would do it. Let's do a promo in there too, Adam.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, to double play, we've got plays for all three of us. You could pick two handicappers. It's probably the lowest price you're going to be able to find on getting two people. And then also, if you just want one of the handicappers that you see on the screen right here, there's great specials for 30 days. I'll say this till I'm blue in the face. You want to get the cost per play down as low as possible. Every dollar you spend on a play comes out of your bottom line. So you want to keep that lower. The best way to do that is to go long-term. Get a month. You can take $100 off right now. You get the year, you keep it under $100 a month. Obviously, you have to bet enough to justify, making that investment, but that is the way to do it, in my opinion. But however, if you are looking for shorter term, that 3 days where you get two handicappers is good bang for your buck in terms of a volume standpoint. So check that out. TB, I'm with you here. I am at some point, listen, the Cubs are going to snap out of this funk at some point. And when they do, they are going to be back to being the Cubs. And this price, even on the money line, is extremely attractive. If you gave me another 15 cents, if right now there's some places that have +1.5, $1.50, -150. This is one of them where even if it was -135, which is a little bit more than I like to pay for that +1.5, I think I'd still do it because I think with them being on the road, it would be that valuable. So TB and I are looking at the dog. Brian, is it going to be the kiss of death? Are we all going to agree here?
First of all, we all read your comments all the time on the YouTube, and there's been a lot of talk lately about Adam talking too much and me not talking enough. I don't talk a lot because it's 6 a.m. here, and I'm not. I don't put out my plays till later on in the day, so I don't do much promotion on this show because I don't know what I'm using yet. I don't want to put up plays before the lines are out there where everybody could get them. So that's why I don't do a lot of promotion, why I don't do a lot of the talking. Adam talks a lot because, number one, he's the host. None of us are getting paid, by the way. This is all on our own free will. We're taking 6 days out of our week to do this. But none of us get paid off of this. The only way we get paid is if you buy our plays. So if you like what we're doing, buy the plays, and we'll continue to do this. But if nobody buys the plays, why are we wasting an hour of our time every day? I love it because I like to bounce my thoughts off of these other guys. But in reality, we could be spending that extra hour handicapping and putting up more plays. So keep that in mind. Also, like I said, I don't really talk about my plays because I don't know what I've got yet. So if I'm talking about something on this one that I really like, chances are it may make my card later on in the day. But if the lines move, it won't. So everything comes down to the lines with me. You've watched me long enough. I got a strike point on all these plays. If it hits a strike point, I give it out. Okay. My question is to TB, what has Chris Sale, what have the batters in this Chicago lineup done against Chris Sale?
Let's take a look. I think I did. He's 6-2 though. I mean, geez. So yeah, they hit 240 with a 765 OPS with 50 at-bats against. So pretty Mendoza line numbers against him. So not poor numbers. And to me, that even justifies more taking the Cubs +1.5. Because Ben Brown's numbers are actually better against the Braves. So
the reason why I asked that was because the Cubs are the best hitting team in Major League Baseball against lefties. 130 WRC plus on the season, yet they have nobody, not a single player in their lineup right now in the top 100 at hitting. So you've got the short term and you got the long term for the Cubs bats against lefties. If they haven't done a whole lot against Sale, Sale hasn't done, so he's been a mediocre pitcher against them. Because of that, I think the dog has some value. I also think the under has some value. The only thing is, if you're looking at Atlanta, Iglesias pitched the last 2 games. Keep in mind, he was on the IL about a week ago. He's pitched 3 out of the last 4 games. I doubt if he will be used tonight. Suarez threw 21 pitches yesterday. Dylan Lee, who has been fantastic all season long, has pitched the last 2 days. So from Atlanta's perspective, the last part of the game, they're not going to be fully there. Now, from the Cubs standpoint, since the Cubs have not been hitting and they haven't been winning, you're getting the full bullpen. Other than Phil Maton, who threw 17 pitches yesterday. He hadn't pitched in the last 2 days. So from a second half of the game situation, the Cubs bullpen is better than Atlanta's in this game. But I don't trust the Cubs hitting. So if I'm looking at this game, I may be looking at an under, at least maybe the first 5 under, maybe full game under. We're looking at 7.5, which is a low total when you're playing in Atlanta. Atlanta's a pretty good hitter's ballpark. So if I'm playing it, maybe I'm looking at maybe Atlanta. Let's take a look at Atlanta's team total in this one. We're looking at 4.5 to the under -145. They got to score 5 runs in a game where the total is 7.5. If they're winning, that means they have to do it in 8 innings. So I think I like the under 4.5 at -145 for the team total for Atlanta. And I've liked Ben Brown a long time. They're starting to stretch him out as a starter, just like they are with the guy in Tampa Bay, or he was in Tampa Bay. So yeah, different ways to look at it. Don't know what I'll use, but those are all things I'm looking at. You're dying to speak, Adam. I could just tell.
I'm just laughing. There's some really good comments right now. Like someone's like, Brian reminds me of my woodshop teacher from 8th grade. Like I was going to say that. Some great comments.
Oh, did it the wrong way.
Yeah. I was in my 8th grade woodshop class. I'll never forget this. I'm in there. And of course, like you see how I act right now. Like 8th grade wasn't much different. I was very hyper. And like, he was like talking. And of course, like it was a big no-no to like ever touch equipment, like unless like, and so like, I think I turned the saw on and like while he's talking, sent right out, kicked out of the class. Big trouble for that. That was not, I don't know why I just remembered that, but he just brought up 8th grade woodshop. And I was also terrible at doing anything like creative or building something like that. The other thing is, shout out to Brian. He does the show at 6 a.m. every day. Like I know TV does it late. I could probably do the show at the time Tokyo Brandon does it. I could not do the show at 6 a.m. every day. For me, like I'm already 200 millis in of caffeine. That's why I come here like, guns blazing. It's 9 o'clock on the East Coast when I start this. So like that is tough. 6 a.m. is tough. So shout out to Brian. Wakes up every day at the crack of dawn to do this show with us. So
let me just add, when I went back to Arizona, I was doing the show at the same time Brian was, because Arizona and Phoenix, Las Vegas, same time. And I don't know how he does it, man. For me, it's 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. That's good for me, but man, 6 a.m. Holy cow. I was showing you guys my baseball cards and stuff at 6 a.m.
All right, let's get one more in here. We got time for one more. Let's go another day game. This is one that people want to talk about. The Brewers, who last night sort of inexplicably lost the game. Jacob Misiorowski was fantastic. As I don't know if we talked about that game on the show yesterday, but I think we've talked about Misiorowski enough to that was no surprise. But the Brewers choked that away late. A 1-0 lead turned into a 3-run loss. I believe it was on a 3-run homer or a go-ahead homer. Not a game I had action in, so I kind of just was loosely watching that one. So now the Brewers come back here in what I consider to be a pretty good spot for the Brewers. But boy, that price is awfully high. Brian Leonard, what are you looking at for this one? Brewers, Padres. And are you tempted by the plus money, or do you think the Brewers is the right side?
Well, the only problem with the Padres is nobody in the lineup is in the top 100 right now. They're not hitting well. I think Griffin Canning's not getting full attention as of yet. But to be totally honest with you, he's only 134th in the last 14 days, 170th on the season. So maybe he doesn't deserve it. But I think he'll be a nice addition to the San Diego starting lineup, especially from the starting pitching standpoint, because they really don't have a lot of starting pitching right now. Milwaukee's a team we always like, but they've only got one guy, Bryce Terang, in the top 100. He's ranked 18th overall in the season. He's had a tremendous year, and they thought he was going to have a little bit of a drop back after last year's, but he's even better now. Christian Yelich came off the IL and played one game at DH, and then he got hurt again. So we don't know he's going to play tonight. So both offenses I have some concerns about, and with the starting pitching for the Brewers, we're getting Kyle Harrison out there, and to your credit, he's been very good. He's 48th overall in the season, 63rd overall. So if I'm looking at this game, I'm looking at the under. You're seeing eights out there. I'm even seeing eights all over the place. There is a couple faraway places that got the 7.5, but you can get easily 8 under at -110, -115. That would be the way I would look at this game. And like I said before, these are everybody's leaving. This is a getaway day. And San Diego obviously is where just about everywhere they go, they're going to have to travel. So, I think this is going to be a low-scoring game, and I like the under.
Okay, Brandon, help me out here on the side because I kind of love the Brewers, but I almost feel like I'm overpaying a little bit. What do you think about that price, and do you agree with Brian's under?
So reading the comments, Steve Duke, I'm from Arizona as well, so I know exactly what you're saying. And Thomas, that's funny. Tatis needs to get back on the juice. That's hilarious. But anyways, the Padres, man, I hate this team. I told you yesterday. They're beautiful on paper. They're like a model that you see on Tinder, and then you see her in person, and it's like, So it's like on paper they're beautiful, but when you watch them play, they just what's that? I'm not on Tinder, but anyway. Swipe right. Anyways, but in person, man, they're just horrible. They're so listless. They just got so much talent. Manny Machado and Tatis are two of the most natural born hitters in the league. And this team should be just barreling people. But I agree with you, Adam. I've got the Brewers ranked higher at everything. And I do not like Canning at all. I love Kyle Harrison in this matchup. It would be Brewers or nothing for me, and I don't think that price is too steep either. I think they should just blast them. But then when I'm so convinced like this, the Padres are going to come out and smack them 13-0. So I'm not going to bet the game.
I love Kyle Harrison. I've said it on the show before. I think he's got, he was a third rounder for the Giants. I thought there was points in time during his development with the Giants where I was like, oh, he's going to be like number 2 or number 3 for them at some point. As just looking like kind of who they had and what they had coming through the system. This is a couple years ago. You had to go back a couple years. Now, the Giants saw a way to get Rafael Devers. And listen, the Giants, can't fault the Giants, really. I know they're stuck with they're stuck with that contract now. But at the time, it looked like they made a good trade. And if what the Red Sox wanted was Kyle Harrison, they were going to give him up. The thing with Harrison and the Red Sox was he just couldn't do what they wanted him to do. Very similar to Quinn Priester, where they just kind of discarded him. And who got Quinn Priester? The Brewers did. And look at what Priester's looked like since showing up in Milwaukee. Dude's like an ace. I mean, he's been hurt this year, but look at what he did last year. Kyle Harrison gets to Milwaukee. Look at what the dude looks like since he's got to Milwaukee. He's phenomenal. Strikeout rate, top 10% in the league. He's getting a ton of swing and miss. No one can square him up. And he's a lefty. He is just this dude is really good in my opinion. And I will continue to look for spots to back him. I think the Brewers are so much better than the Padres, by a lot. I want to bet the Brewers here. Please, someone come in, some group. I know one of you groups out there is dying to bet the Padres at that number. Please do that so I can give the Brewers to my clients in a couple hours. Begging you. Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, I just wanted to point out on the season, San Diego's got an 81 WRC plus against lefties. So maybe take San Diego first half of the game under team total.
And Harrison's a studly pitcher that not a lot of people know. He's performing really well. And I like the Brewers bullpen, and I like their hitting too. I'm with you, Adam.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's only 11 games today. There is not. I haven't even bet anything yet for clients. There's not a ton of what I consider to be sort of great home run spots today. I may even come in there at -135. Get that under -140 for me. I may jump in because the way the Brewers lost yesterday, I kind of think they come out with some juice. They're at home. They've got the better starter. I think they find a way in this one.
-1.
Could always go -1. TB, he always makes that point. You can, I think you open yourself up to a push there, especially with the home team, but
absolutely,
it's certainly an option. It's certainly an option. We've got options for you on the parlay of the day. And more importantly, if you want to know exactly what we're betting, the only way to do that, wagertalk.com. Check out the great specials we have on our page for sale today. But we've got a 3-teamer, and the boys have thrown a couple underdogs in the mix. So this could be a big one if we can hit it today. We are still up about a unit on the year on these. So even though we've had a couple losses so far in this week,
it's my
couple
fault.
heartbreakers. Yeah, I mean, your under lost by a half run the other day. That's like
I've been the weak link for like 3 days now.
It's all good. It's all good. Listen, I would take a 5-0 for my clients like literally 11 times out of 10 over like
with a 5%.
Yeah, with a 5%. So you're going to be just fine. We're going to hit this one though. We got Nats on the money line, Marlins on the money line. So Nationals plus 134, Marlins I went with plus 109, and then Brian is going to go with Rockies, Pirates under 4.5 in the first 5. So remember, that's a first 5 bet minus 145. So your 3-teamer for today, Rockies, Pirates under 4.5, first 5, Marlins money line, Nats money line. That is your show. Check out the website for the great specials that are on our page. We all have plays that are going to go today, and the 3 of us will be back tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern, for more Total Bases. We'll see you guys then.